Good evening. Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in to Tea with Lady DJ. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in, you guys. Come on in. Get a seat. Come up to the front. Come on in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. As you're coming in, don't forget to get your heart maze. Get your points. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. They just have all kinds of notes. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here reading all of these messages that come up. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in to Tea with Lady DJ. Yes, welcome in. Let's see. Welcome in as we continue to talk about internal versus external validation for your happiness. Welcome in. As you're coming in, don't forget to get your heart maze and all of your points that you're supposed to get. And if you'll share this out, at the bottom of your screen, there's a little arrow that goes to the right. If you'll click that and then click on the button that says your stories, and that way it gets it out to everyone faster, and I get to have all of your attention, not while you're deciding who you're going to share this with. So welcome in. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you joined me. And if you were here last night, did you do your homework? Did you go and sit with you and be totally honest with you as to what made you happy before? What made you happy before? Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. It is so good to have you. We do not have here the moderators, our moderators, know that we do not block you. We have you on your own honor, and that on this platform, you know how to be respectful to each other as well as to me. If you'll tap your screen, my goal is always to get at least 20,000 likes, please. So I appreciate if you start to tap the screen. Don't forget to get your heart maze. The moderators know to mute you. I want you to stay because there could be something that you're going to miss. Carol, welcome. Thank you. Get your heart maze, yes. And while we're waiting for a few more persons to come in, because tonight is a lot. We talked last night. What did it mean? What did that exactly mean? Internal versus external validation. And my question that I posed was, do you really need someone else's approval for your happiness? And the answer should have been no. That answer should have been no. You do not need someone else's approval for your happiness. It's natural, it's totally natural to want someone's approval. But we are wired to think, what does that person think about me? What does the other person think? What is he thinking? and we have evolved as social creatures. So seeking approval feels instinctive. But there's a big difference between appreciating validation, and depending on it for your sense of worth or contentment. And that's where we're going to go further in tonight. We're going to go further in tonight. And what does that look like? Depending on it for your sense of worth or contentment. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, did you get your tea? I'm having red tea tonight. And I have it. Do you have your tea? You've got time to go get your cup of tea or whatever your beverage may be. Get your pen and paper. And just in case, you just want to listen. And sometimes that is the best thing, is to sit and intentionally listen to what is being said. And then how is it applicable to you? It makes a grave difference. So, if you decide to listen and just give me your undivided attention, tomorrow this live will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is, and if someone would put it in the chat for me, it is You, Me, and Tea with Lady D. Just Lady D on my YouTube channel. You, Me, and Tea with Lady D. And when you go over there, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It just helps me to get my numbers up, and I'm really surprised. I already have 135 subscribers. I am so pleased to have you all always. And then turn your notifications on so that when I upload, it will notify you, and then you can go sit with it again and take some time just by yourself, being honest with you totally, and then see what happens. I like to say on this platform, as my coach, I too have a coach, yes, it's David Burris. He is my coach, and I love him dearly. He is wonderful. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see him because I always upload his works on my page. But he says, give yourself permission to think differently. To think differently. Because if what you've been doing has not made dating any easier, as a matter of fact, you're not dating at all, then I'd like to say, how is that working for you? And why not try something different? Why not try something different? Can you all hear me okay? If you'll put a 1 in the chat and let me know if you can hear me fine, because I am soft-spoken. I am going to turn down the music. I turn it off, but I want you to be relaxed. Some things are, when you're having to look at yourself, some things it's kind of hard to digest. And when you look at it and you say, is that me? And the answer is yes, it's okay. Because we're all evolving. We want to be better than we were yesterday. And how can we do that? By always being open to learning something different and making it applicable to you. So, we are going to tonight start out talking about what are some of the mitigating. Last night, let me bring you up, just in case you weren't with me last night. We talked about happiness. What made us happy? What made us happy, feel alive before? Before that relationship, before whatever. What made you happy? And that was what you were supposed to sit with. And tonight, you share with me. You've thought over it. What were some of the things? Where were you and why? All of those questions. What made you happy before? What brought you joy before? What gave you peace before? There was a before. There was. But some of the mitigating factors that causes someone to put all of their energies into a person for their happiness and their joy and their peace. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. This is such an important question because understanding why we do this, can help us recognize the patterns and choose differently. Understanding the why can help us recognize the patterns and choose differently. So let's look at some of the core factors. What I did, there's a plethora of them, but I evaluated me as I had evaluated me after my divorce, and I wanted to see, is there a difference? And there's a difference. There's a difference in my old me and the me now. And I know that we are forever healing, but I'm nowhere close to where I was then. The old Donna, the old Lady D. And that's where I want you all to get, that you're not where you used to be, but you don't know where you used to be until you know these factors that causes you to put all of your energies. Hey there, how are you? How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. That causes you to put all of your energies into that person. We're always healing. So I did the ones that were huge factors for me. And if we be honest, they're huge factors for you also. Number one was early attachment wounds. Early attachment wounds. If you didn't get consistent love, attention, or validation as a child. See, sometimes we say, oh, I'm healed, but are you healed? Are you really? Or are you healed from the last relationship you were in? Did you take time to go back to your early childhood? Because there was something back there that rolled over and morphed into who you are right now. So, if you did not get consistent love, attention, or validation as a child, you might have learned that love is conditional and scarce, something you had to earn, chase, or fix someone else to obtain. Something you had to earn, something you had to chase, something that you had to fix someone else to obtain it. Yeah. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I am so glad that you all decided to join me. Thank you so very much. You become hyper vigilant to another person's emotional state because that's how you survived emotionally as a kid, as a child. And how does it begin? Your earliest relationship, usually is with your parents or primary caregiver, right? And they teach you what, or they are supposed to teach you, or that's what we think. What is love? What safety feels like? Whether you can trust others to be there for you. That's when you were a little kid, a child. And if your caregiver or caregivers were inconsistent, sometimes present, sometimes absent, sometimes loving, sometimes cold or angry, you learn that love is unpredictable. You learn that love is unpredictable. You became anxious, always scanning for signs of approval or rejection. You learn to manage other people's emotions to keep them close. I will talk about me. Now, as a child, I felt like I needed to make good grades, and I did, to get my father's, my mother's love. And I needed not to get in trouble, not to, as I got older, not to skip school. Never had to have my mother to come to school for any reason whatsoever. I was the firstborn, and being the firstborn girl, there's a story behind being the firstborn girl and the weight that is put on you. So, being the firstborn, and I'm a baby boomer, we had to learn how to take care of our other siblings, right? And if they did something that they weren't supposed to, you, still a child, was, why didn't you stop that? Why didn't you handle that? But you're still a child. So what do I need to do? How do I get your love? That I did all of the things that I was supposed to do, and I still didn't quite get there. I still didn't quite make it. So that's that sometimes present, sometimes absent, sometimes loving, sometimes cold, sometimes angry. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. My mother was that June Cleaver. I was that June Cleaver when I got married. But we were always searching for that love that makes us feel safe, that we could be able to say, this is how I'm going to teach it to my child when I have one. Yes? Can you feel what I'm saying? If your caregiver was dismissive, and my mother was not, or neglectful, and she was not, your needs were not met and were treated as an inconvenience. There are those that went through something like this. You learn that you don't matter, that your feelings are too much, that you have to earn attention. You learn to minimize yourself and focus on others. Minimize yourself and focus on others. That's when you were a child. But do you recognize some of these behaviors as an adult? Do you? Keep listening with me. If your caregivers were enmeshed or controlling, your boundaries were not respected. Your boundaries were not respected. You didn't even know that you were supposed to be able to have boundaries, let know that they were disrespected. You were expected to manage their emotions or be an extension of them. You learned that love means losing yourself, that your job is to make others happy. That's in early childhood. Do you recognize some of that in you now? Do you? Exactly. You didn't know about boundaries until late in adulthood. And that's where I am. That's my assignment from God, that I do this tea time and that I give back to you guys what was given to me when I became single again. I was married at 19. I was married for 23 years. And then now I'm divorced again. I'm single again, 28 years. But when I came out of that, I realized so much was missing, so much I didn't know. And for me, I am so different. I used to say strange. I'm not strange, I'm different. And I realized that I was not ready to date. I tried, and the woolly bullies that I met, I didn't know how to. There had been only one man, right? For me, I was a virgin when I got married. There was only one man in my life, and now I am single again. How do I navigate that? I have to find out. I have to learn. I have to sit still and be poured into. And I had magnificent teachers that poured into me. And so now it is for me to pour into you guys and share that has me at this place where I am right now. And mind you, I'm not finished learning. I will always be learning. Always, always. So, as I was saying, if your caregivers, we're still talking about in your early, if your caregivers were abusive or volatile, you learn that love and pain go together. Love and pain go together. Now, abusive and volatile. And we knew how to say or think, love doesn't hurt. It's not supposed to hurt. But if that's how you were brought up, that's all you knew, you learned that love and pain go together. You learn how to be, again, hypervigilant, to anticipate danger, to appease and manage. You learned how to do those things. You learned that chaos was normal. Yeah, you learned those things, but it wasn't normal. And so you learned those things then in your early childhood, but can you recognize them now that you're an adult? Mm-hmm. These patterns don't just live in your memory, they live in your nervous system. They become your blueprint for relationships. Did you hear what I said? They become your blueprints for relationships. You are drawn to what feels familiar. You are drawn to what feels familiar, even if it's painful, because familiarity feels like home. Yeah, it does. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you. So, and here's the cruelest part. The cruelest part is you often unconsciously create the dynamics. Thank you so very much. You often recreate the dynamics that hurt you, hoping this time you can fix it or control it, earn the love that you didn't get, earn the love that you did not get. But you can't heal a childhood wound through an adult relationship. You can only heal it by doing what? Internal work to reparent yourself, to give yourself the consistency, validation, and care that you didn't get. You can't expect someone to heal you. What's the next thing? The next thing is, these are things that I work through, is low self-worth. Low self-worth. When you don't believe you have inherent value. When you do not believe that you have inherent value, you try to create it by being useful, helpful, or essential to someone else. You create it by being useful, helpful, or essential to someone else. Their happiness becomes proof that you matter. Their happiness becomes proof that you matter. And this is often the foundation beneath everything else. When you don't believe you have inherent value, that you're worthy of love, respect, care, just for being. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You try to earn it. When you do not believe you have inherent value, that you're worthy of the love, respect, care, just for being, you try to earn it. Now, I am really going to try to get through this, because when I was putting this all together, it made me have a moment. And I'm thinking how far I've come. How far I've come. Because I recognize this. And I say I will talk to just about me. How even as a child, children can be mean, right? And thinking back, and I'm so much better now than I was, but thinking back how they used to, because my melanated skin is much darker than the rest, and I was born with my gray patch in the center of my head, and I used to pull my gray hair out because the rest of the kids didn't have gray hair, and mine was coming in like it was fertilizer, right? Yeah. And I wasn't worthy of it. I wasn't. And that's how I felt about my self-worth. You become useful. If you can't be loved for who you are, maybe you can be loved for what you do. So you give, manage, caretake, sacrifice. You make yourself indispensable. Indispensable. Yeah. You accept crumbs. You accept crumbs because you don't believe you deserve a full meal. Just metaphorically speaking. Occasional affection, intermittent attention, moments of kindness. You are grateful for these because you don't expect more. This was then. How does it make you Do you see it in your relationships now? Because you have not addressed it. You haven't addressed it. It's still there. It's still there. And so you're looking for external validation. You overfunction. You take responsibility for their emotions, their healing, their happiness, because it's your job, but because you believe your worth is measured by how much you can fix and or give. Think about it. Just think about it. How has just feeling like that has affected your relationships? You stay small. You stay small, and you don't voice your needs. You don't voice your needs. Someone earlier said, I said, set boundaries. And they said that they didn't even know that they should have boundaries until late in their adulthood. Okay. Take a sip of your tea. Let me gather myself, because this is so important on how we go forth in relationships. This, not having this information, and you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, and you're holding someone else responsible for your happiness. You're needing their approval. It goes way back. It goes way back. Hey, Shirley, I have not seen you for so long. Welcome in. Welcome in. You measure yourself by their response to you. You measure yourself by their response to you. If they're happy, you have value. If they're unhappy, you've failed. Your self-worth rises and falls with their moods. Low self-worth often comes from early messages, spoken or unspoken, that you were not enough, that love was conditional, that your needs were burdensome, and that once that belief is in place, once that seed is planted, you unconsciously seek out relationships that confirm it. When I looked back from being 19, married, knowing that I didn't know anything about anything except what my grandmother, my great grandmother, and my mother shared with me, that this is how a wife is supposed to act. You don't really have, and being Southern Baptist, okay, being Southern Baptist, and as a lady, you know your place, okay, and you know the order of the house, and that I still believe in. You know that there's God, and then there's man, and then there's the wife, and then there's the children. I still believe in that order, and when we get that order cattywampus, we have a whole lot of uh, misconfunctuation. It's just a made-up word, but it just goes to hell in a handbasket when we get out of alignment. And then the next one is avoidance of your pain or emptiness. Avoidance of your pain or emptiness. Thank you. Thank you. Focusing intensely on someone else's problems is an excellent distraction from your own. It's easier to fix them than to face what's broken, scary, or uncertain in your own life. It's easier to fix them. And sometimes, don't you see it when you hear people talking about relationships and they spew out stuff? And that's exactly what it is. It's stuff. And it is broken stuff and yet there are persons that lend their ear to that stuff. And that person would rather be in your business spewing stuff than to look at the stuff that they came out of, knowing that they desperately need some type of therapy, that they need to invest time in them. This one is sneaky because it looks like love and dedication. It looks like love and dedication. When you focus all of your energies on someone else's problems, someone else's healing or happiness, you don't have to face your own grief, your own loneliness, or despair. If there is pain you have not processed, childhood wounds, losses, disappointments, your own sense of purposelessness, your own sense, it sits and it's waiting there for you. It just sits there and it grows and it festers. And focusing on someone else keeps you from feeling it, but it's still there. And so you say things, you stay in things when you should have been long gone, but you stay there. You stay there. Your own desires. Hey there, how are you? Your own desires and dreams. Maybe you are afraid to pursue what you actually want because you might fail or realize you've wasted time or discovered you don't know what you want. Easier to make their life your project. It's easier to make their life your project. I have written for years in secret for fear of what they would say if they knew what I like to write. Though tastefully done, what would they say? That's me, afraid to pursue what I actually wanted because I might fail. So I was challenged, send it out and see if there is a publishing company that would want to take you on as a new author. It took me weeks to do this, going digging through my box of writings. And what am I going to submit? Maybe I shouldn't submit that because I was so much older. And I gave myself all kinds of excuses. Yet when I sent it in, within the week, I received a letter back asking me would I consider being one of their new authors. I thought, boy, are they just yanking my leg, right? And then they asked to have an audience with me. And I thought, yeah, right. and I'm still writing at 71. Yeah, I'm a first-time author. And it got to the point of, okay, so what if? What if it didn't? Who's it hurting? No one. What if they don't buy it? Okay. When you get to that okay, to that place of okay, I'm okay with it. At least I did it. I did it. I put one foot before the other, and I did it. Mhm. Your own identity questions. Who am I without this relationship? Talking about me. Without this role as a caregiver, a fixer, a saver. If you don't know, it's terrifying to find out. So you stay busy with them. I stayed. I didn't know who I was. I went from being my parents' child to being my ex's wife to being my son's mother. I didn't even have a name. That's how I was referenced. Oh, so you're his wife? Yes, I am. So you're his mother? Yes, I am. I didn't know who I was. I had lost who I was because I didn't know who I was going in. And I had these early childhood things that I didn't know that I needed to deal with. Yeah. And so, not knowing all of this, you stay because how am I going to make it without? Where am I going to go? How do I do this? Mm-hmm. The void. Some people have a deep emptiness, whether from trauma, depression, or just human condition. Filling every moment with worry about someone else means you never have to sit in that void and feel its full weight. When you worry about someone else, you never have to worry about, hey, just how are you? Its full weight. Then there is the myth of redemptive love. The myth of redemptive love. You all, are we tapping the screen? Are we going to get me to 20? Take a sip. Take a sip. I'm going to take a breath before we go into this redemptive love. And we tap the screen for me, please. And welcome in. And those persons that are coming in late, and you missed the first half of this, in the morning, I will upload this live to my YouTube channel, which is You, Me, and T with Lady D. Just D. You, Me, and T. TEA with Lady D. So if you all would, the new persons coming in, get your heart made. We are talking about internal and external validation for your happiness. For your happiness. Do you really need someone else's approval for your happiness, for your joy, for your peace? And your answer should be no, you do not. And we're talking about the mitigating factors that have you at that point of thinking that you need the external validation instead of the internal validation, and that's you. You validate you. Thank you. I see we're almost at 10. Have another sip. And you all, I have to bear with me because this was a lot for me. This was taking me back through. I always say that when I do my lives with you all, it's not just for you. It's a sounding board. He wants me to say, God, that I say it out loud to remind me, to refresh me, to keep me on my toes, that this is what got me to where I am right now. And so as I share with you, I share with me all over again. The myth of redemptive love. The myth of redemptive love. We are fed stories that love conquers all, that the right person can save someone, that if you just love them long enough, they will heal. It's seductive and deeply embedded in our culture, but it's not true. It's not true. We are raised on stories. We are raised on stories, fairy tales, movies, songs, books that tell us love conquers all, that the right person can save someone broken. If you love them long enough, they'll change. Sacrifice and suffering are proof of true love. Not so. Standing by someone through thick and thin, no matter what, is noble. These stories are beautiful. These stories are simply beautiful, but they are also dangerous. They are dangerous because they confuse endurance with love. They confuse endurance with love. Because if you've ever seen someone that has been in an abusive relationship, they're thinking, if I love them long enough, they'll change. If I sacrifice long enough, they will change. They will eventually love me like I love them. Dangerous. Staying in pain is not loyalty. It is often fear, codependency, or trauma bonding dressed up as virtue. As virtue. Because they put their burden on you. You have to love harder, be more patient, give more. The other person's healing becomes your responsibility, your test, your quest. Because they ignore mutuality, they ignore it. Real love requires two people both showing up, both doing their work, both choosing each other and themselves. One person cannot carry a relationship alone, no matter how hard they try. They can't do it. Cannot. And because they romanticize suffering, the idea that love should be hard, that struggle proves its depth, keeps people stuck in situations that are simply unhealthy. That myth of redemptive love tells you that if you just persist, sacrifice enough, love purely enough, they'll wake up and heal and become the person you see in them. So you see in them what they don't see. And you're trying to draw it out of them. You're trying to go get it and bring it out of them. But the truth is, you cannot love someone into wholeness. You cannot love someone into wholeness. They have to choose it for themselves. They have to choose it for themselves. And the cost of trying is your own peace, your own joy, your own health, your own sense of self is far, far too high. It's far too high. And the last thing, am I boring you all? I'll get to this last one and then we're going to have benediction. It's trauma bonding. Trauma bonding. Trauma bonding happens when you form an intense emotional attachment to someone through cycles of rewards and punishments, closeness and distance, hope and disappointment. It's not about loving someone despite the pain. It's about becoming attached because of the cycle itself. Because of the cycle itself. Here's how it works. Intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes they're loving, present, everything you hope for. Then they withdraw, become cold, critical, or unavailable. You don't have to say anything in the chat, just listen to what I'm saying. Have you been there? Then they come back. This is unpredictable. Creates a psychological hook stronger than consistent good treatment ever could. Your brain becomes addicted to the high of the reconnection after the pain of distance. Let's look at it. That person that is being verbally abused or physically abused, and the cycle starts. And then they go away. That person goes away. And then they say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. And I'm drawing you back in. I'm drawing you back in. And I love you. You know I love you. And I'm drawing you back in more and more. And I will never do this again. How many times have you heard that? But you go back. You go back. Because it could be this time. It could be this time. But it's not. And then he wanted his eggs over easy, or she wanted to get her nails done at this time. Whatever it was. Let's see. Excuse me while I do the puzzle. If you all keep tapping, yes. Yes. And so you go back because you believe that it's this time. This time. You mistake intense intimacy. The emotional roller coaster feels like depth, like passion, like real love, but it's actually just chaos. That's all it is. Healthy love is steadier, it's calmer, which can feel boring by comparison if you're used to the adrenaline of trauma bonding. The adrenaline of trauma bonding. You start to believe you caused the problem. I didn't hear him say he wanted his eggs over easy, so I scrambled. That's my problem there. And then he just soars off, or she soars off. This is not about women or men. This is everyone. If only you were better, more patient, more understanding, they wouldn't pull away. So you try harder. You manage your behavior to avoid triggering their withdrawals, And again, you become hypervigilant to their moods. The good moments feel like salvation when they finally turn towards you again. The relief is so profound, it feels like proof that it's all worth it. You forget the pain in the flood of reconnection. You become afraid to leave, not just because you love them, but because your nervous system is now wired to this pattern. It's wired to this pattern. Leaving feels like withdrawal from a drug. Yeah. The fear of losing even the possibility of those good moments keep you stuck. Keep you stuck. I can remember that when we would go out, oh my God, he was the person that I remembered. He was suave and as soon as we crossed the threshold, I didn't know who he was. I wanted to go back out and sit in the car. I just wanted to go back. That person's out there somewhere. How did I lose him from there to there? Never anything physical, but the withdrawal. How do you play with someone's emotions like that, right? Trauma bonding is why people stay in relationships that look inexplicably from the outside. It's not weakness, it's a neurobiological hijacking by inconsistency. It is. So, I almost did it, you guys. I almost got finished. The common thread in all of this, the common thread in all of these factors And these were the factors that affected me the most. And these are the factors that I had to get over. And it's not an overnight thing. You have to invest time and patience into you. They keep you focused on external when the work needs to be internal. Trauma bonding, avoidance, low self-worth, attachment wounds, the redemptive love myth, they all say the answer is in the other person. Did you hear me? Trauma bonding, avoidance, low self-worth, attachment wounds, the redemptive love myth. They all say the answer is in the other person. If they change, if they heal, if they love you right, then you will be okay. And that's bass-ackwards. You like my word? Bass-ackwards. You have to do your own healing. You have to do your own healing. You have to face your own pain. You have to build your own self-worth. That one's so important to me because building my self-worth, I learned to love me. I didn't love me. I thought I was unattractive. I was so terribly dark and all of this white hair. I didn't love me. And I just wanted to hear someone say that they loved me like I loved them. But it wasn't until I learned to love me. I didn't give a damn whether they said they loved me. Because once I learned to love me, I can demand it. Because once I learned to love me, they could see how much I loved me. And it was reciprocated. And it is reciprocated. Once you learn to love you, you have to grieve what you didn't get as a child and learn to give it to yourself now. Not because the other person doesn't matter, but because you can't build a healthy relationship from an unhealthy foundation within yourself. It's within you, and it has to be you. You have to work on you. You have to do your healing. Or you will forever, ever, and ever be looking for someone's approval. Thank you all. Oh, it's 15 minutes over, but I made it. Thank you all. And I would say I'd take some questions, but I don't want to take any questions right now. This was big for me. And as I say, that when I share with you all, it's not just for you all. It's so that I can hear it again and keep me grounded and keep me in a line and not allow me to fall for because I'm worthy of. And I approve this message for me. You approve this message for you. All right? Your peace. The scripture says, what? I gave you joy. Man didn't give it to you. And man can't take it away. But you can give it away. Stop giving it away. Your peace, your joy, your happiness. Stop giving it away. And if you don't know all of these things that I've shared with you, that were shared with me, find someone. There are good therapists out there before you start to say that you're ready to be in a relationship, because you're broken. You're broken. And it's never going to be good until you work on you, until you spend time with you. Yep. Okay, I know I'm supposed to say it. Is there anything, does anyone have any questions at all? I'll just send an invite up, and if not, I thank each and every one of you for coming out to sit with me. This was, you know what I say all the time? I don't know why Leroy, and you all that know me know I call God Leroy. That's my pet name for him. He gives me the darndest things to do. And he and I just roamed through the TikTok streets. And he was like, there's so much anger. There is so much anger. And he and I, we talk about it at our prayer time, right? And I sit in here in this office. This is my altar and my office. And I look out this window and it's quiet. And it's why so many people so angry. Why are they so angry? Because they have not properly healed. They're looking for someone else's validation, approval. And I'm like, Leroy, we're not going here. And I talk back to him all the time. But he wins. Oh my God, does he win? He wins, he wins, he wins. So, I don't know what we're going to talk about on Tuesday, but I made it through this. But I have the closing for Tuesday. I have the closing for this for Tuesday. And then we'll start something on Wednesday. So if there are no questions, I thank you all. I thank you. I really, really do. Thank you for sitting through me being snotty nose and runny eyes and all those other things. Thank you. Bumbled over a few words, but I think you understood what I was trying to say. So thank you. Nothing? All right. Good night. Until Tuesday. I will upload this tomorrow on my YouTube channel, You, Me, and Tea with Lady D. Until then, until the next time, good night, you all. Good night.